Hello, beautiful lady. It's Dr. Stephanie. And I wanted to ask you a question. Do you feel old? I mean, do you feel old? Let me backtrack. What does that even mean? Because I hear it all the time. I hear people say, I feel so. What does old mean? Well, that's what this video is about. It's about ageism and why women over 40 absolutely have to do a pivot and fast. Because ageism, sexism, racism, that isms are running rampant, but you don't have to fall victim to it. And the one thing that I wanted to kind of coach through today is the ageism factor. When I speak with women during their strategy calls or even during their coaching sessions, I hear that over and over and over, and they say, Dr. Steph, I feel old. And so, what is that? Well, let me tell you what it isn't. Feeling old is not your knees hurt. It's not that you have belly bloat. It's not even the fact that you can't sleep or you're not getting proper rest or you're moody and you feel like everything around you is robbing you of your energy. That's not feeling old. You know what that is? That is just a lack of boundaries. When you're saying you're tired, you can't sleep, you got belly bloat, that means that your system has been assaulted by everything around you and you don't have any barriers up. So if you mean that's what you mean when you say you feel old, let's clear that up and change the perspective because that's what the pivot coach is about. We're changing perspective about how you see yourself and how you name and claim your reality. So the truth is, you can feel the way you're feeling that feels old in your 20s. And that's just the truth. You can feel like that when you're 31. Does that mean you're getting old? No, 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 no. What that means is you don't know what you don't know. There's a gap in knowledge clouding your understanding about where you are and what's happening to you at this moment. And you don't have a clear understanding to identify it. And if you can't identify it or name it for what it is, there's absolutely no way that you're going to be able to connect the right solution to feel better. Because if you say, I'm tired, I can't sleep, I have no energy, I'm feeling crabby, I'm getting old, what you're saying is, I don't have the right solutions, the right systems, the right methods, and the right tools to take me out of this disempowered state so I can go back to being empowered. That's what you're really saying. So let's get that out of the way. So, number one, you're not old, you have a lack of boundaries. Number two, you're feeling that way because you don't have a solution. You don't have a solution because you didn't know what the real problem was. But now that you know that the real problem is a lack of boundaries, this is how you can stop that. Because what's happening is you have a drain on your energy. What you could do is start saying no. But, you know, just blanketly saying no to everything, that's you running. That's not you standing and being accountable for your situations. That's just running. So when people say, I say no to everything, I'm starting to say no. What you're saying, what you're doing is you're saying no. Before you say no, here's the hack. I want you to envision or visualize the scenario in a way that makes you want to say yes to the experience. Because you don't want to go around saying no to every damn thing. Before you get a chance to vet it, for your boundaries. So this is how you can tell. Before you start saying no to everything, I want you to sit with yourself and say, do I know what I want today? Did I set my intention for my day to be awesome and amazing? Do I know the goals that I have set for myself today? Do I have the plans of action in place to get to those goals? Because if you have all of that, then you have very strong boundaries. Because anything that tries to come in that goes beyond that line, you're going to automatically say no. But you're not going to say no if you don't know how you're supposed to be showing up. That brings me to the part of the third thing that I think you should know if you think that there's an age problem is you should get a coach. Now, I'm not talking about a coach that's going to show you how to do a layup. I'm not talking about a coach that's gonna show you how to, squat properly so you don't hurt your back and blow out your knees. I'm not talking about that kind of coach. I'm talking about the coach for your spirit, a coach for your thinking, right? Because we don't necessarily know how to think sometimes. We don't know what to think, or even sometimes, honey, what to believe. And when you start to get older, your 40s and your 50s, you start to feel old because you can't make sense of what's happening to you in this current reality because things are changing so fast. Now, how do you get to a point of harnessing control over your own life so you don't feel old and your boundaries aren't blurred and your energy is not being zapped like a vampire? Is that you set your intention of how you want to show up. If you didn't plan to show up and be angry today, then nothing should knock you off your square. If you didn't plan to not get all of your list of things done within reason, then nothing should knock you off your square. Because when you are focused on the life that you want to have from moment by moment, day to day, and this is something you should be thinking about constantly, like thinking about what you're thinking about, then it's going to be very difficult for you to have your energy zapped, for you to feel like I can't sleep, to feel like you're getting old, because your life becomes more alive. When you take control over your life, you become more alive. The only way you start to feel old is if you allow your power and your resources to seep through your pores. You feel old when you self-sabotage. You feel old when you don't know your own life's goal, because that way people can pull on you and you can say yes all the time because you feel like you don't have nothing else to do. But I can do that. I can spend 5 minutes turns into 20 minutes. Before you know it, you will be spending a whole month on somebody else's project because you haven't solidified or written in stone in your heart what is best for you. This is what really makes you feel old. You know what else makes you feel old? Feeling uncomfortable when you want to make a pivot. You may spend hours, days, weeks trying to talk yourself out of being good to yourself because you don't want no smoke from nobody else. You know how much energy that takes away from you? Oh, yeah, that will make you old real fast. How do you fix that problem? Well, consider this. If everybody's living life on their terms to have the best authentic experience that they desire to have, you can do that too. You can say to yourself, you know what? That thing that you're asking of me is not resonating with the version of myself that makes me feel comfortable. I choose to do this instead. When you do that, you reclaim your energy. And when you claim your energy, you feel, oh, no. When you reclaim your energy, you feel alive. You feel like you get like a couple of years back. You start feeling like you want to do something weird, like go color. Or join a double dutch competition. I mean, weird stuff happens when you start to really pay attention to how important you are to you. That old feeling kind of evaporates on its own. If you're feeling old because of how you look, you can change that. I wouldn't advise dyeing your gray hair. Just let that rock, right? But if your stamina is not good, go walk more. Make it simple. It don't have to be that deep, right? If you don't like something about yourself that is absolutely able to have a change, investigate and explore those different ways that you can change yourself. Because there's nothing that's going to make you feel old than you feeling stagnant, like you can't change. That's going to make you feel old. But your age itself is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Age really is a number. However, if you're not paying attention to your personal boundaries, if you're giving yourself away, if you're not looking at your life from a futuristic perspective about what you want to do over the next 5, 10, 15 years, yeah, dream, right? I keep thinking, okay, in 30 years, I'm going to be 88, and that's still young, right? My favorite aunt, she stopped being a foster parent at 85. So, yeah, 30 years down the road is looking pretty good. When you feel old, it's because you stopped dreaming. That's it. You stop projecting into your future. So you just let things roll in. And the things that are rolling in don't look pretty. They're draining, they're dark. It's overwhelming. We're projecting. You know where that projection is coming from? It's coming from triggers of past traumas that you haven't transmuted. It's coming from negative self-beliefs that you didn't realize that you still had until you were triggered. And it's coming from a lot of disappointments and setbacks that you've had over years. And that's why this is just about the time women 40 and over start looking for someone like me, a coach, to help them pivot out of the current reality that doesn't feel that great into a perspective that shows you what life could be like if you dare to dream. If you dare to look up, close your eyes, and see with your third eye, ooh, that looks good. And open your eyes and go, I can execute that. So if you're looking for a coach to help you pivot, so you're not being inundated by this feeling of feeling old, then maybe it's time for you to get a coach. I've been coaching women for 20 years. And if you watch some of my other videos, you'll hear about my imposter syndrome and my white coat and the escapades of how my office used to be before I had to bring it in and become virtual. But I actually like the virtual model because I get a chance to meet women from all over the world. So if you're looking for a coach, for somebody to help you tap into the version of yourself that holds the purse to your purpose, because we are able to extract the wisdom out of your life and leave the pain, so this feeling of feeling old doesn't overwhelm and overtake you, then I'm here. Because it just requires some tools, some insight, there's a course, and some coaching. Ultimately, your feeling old has everything to do with a misalignment between your spirit, your mind, and your body. Now, if you're looking for, or have you ever heard somebody say, I'm looking for a holistic practitioner, that's what holistic means. It means a person who can help you address your spiritual, which is the emotional aspect of who you are, your mental part, limiting beliefs, and how it affects your body. That is where you would go looking for a holistic practitioner. And that's exactly what I offer. So yeah, you're going to get your detox and your homeopathics and your hair tissue analysis to show me the toxic metals in your system and the proper diet based on your biochemistry and all the minerals that you need to rebalance your body. You're also going to get the coaching to bring this idea of holistic healing full circle, because I believe that if you're here, you're still here. Not only are you ready to be coached, but as we help you transmute your own limiting beliefs, triggers of past traumas and disappointments, you get to tap into something that's so powerful. You get to tap into the version of yourself that now you are equipped to be the light for someone else. And that's why I do what I do. My job is to let women know that, hey, everything is good with you. You just have there's some things you don't know that you don't know, but you really got to clean it up because you have work to do. You feel the tug, it's calling you, your purpose is calling you. And because you feel old, you don't know how to answer the call, but I'm here. Beautiful lady, it's time to answer that call. You are not old, you are ready. And it's time for you to elevate. You haven't been able to do it up until this point because you probably didn't know that you needed a coach. So if you're ready for that experience, click the link below and say, I need a coach, and I can't wait to talk to you. And that should conclude this video. So you feeling old? Now you know why. Lack of boundaries, right? You don't know what you don't know. You don't have a system or a method in place to bring you back center when you feel disempowered. And that's all this is. You're just having a disempowered moment. But empowerment belongs to you. So click the link below, like the video, subscribe, and share. Until next time, be well.